Hey guys, welcome back. Building Big with City Skylines, episode 10. I'm Enigmas, and today we're in a good place, I think. We're on the grow, which is where we want to be, and we just have to continue with that with a couple of minor tweaks that we're going to set up first before we get too carried away, because it does involve some bulldozering. But we kind of anticipated it when we got it set up. I want to adjust some of this stuff that's going on down here. See, we've got our one-way road that's going to parallel the raised highway, and we want to run it down like this. So whenever we get to a spot like this where we're starting to get close to it, we just want to extend it a little bit, and hopefully that will keep everybody happy and reduce the amount of bulldozing that we have to do. And of course we are going to have to switch that around, and that's fine. And switch and switch. And we're okay with that dead end. And then we want to do the same thing over here, but if we just ran the road this way, we'd end up with an intersection here that we don't want. So unfortunately, this guy who just recently got himself established in our merciless regime is gonna have to be cleared out. And so too will these guys, because we want to straighten out this great big fat wide one-way road. Like so. We want straight. We want to run it like this. And again, it's basically just paralleling the raised highway so that we have lots of traffic that we can accommodate without necessarily forcing everything onto the highway and great big long things and then coming back around and all that other crap. So it's another one of those things that we could realize after the fact that, you know what, it was all totally unnecessary and it didn't really do anything for us, but for at least the time being, that's how we want to set it up. So we've still got sort of this intersection thing happening here. We do have this bypass underneath the highway, which is very important. We absolutely want to keep that, but we don't want this intersection here. We can do without it. So these guys are going to disappear on their own. That's how we do. And then we say, you guys left. We didn't do it. You chose to leave. And then what we can do, and straight I think will be good for this, slope too steep, is we can put these bypasses back in, kind of try and line them up a little bit. We're not going to be too crazy about getting them perfect, because it's one of those things I don't think we could get it perfect even if we tried. I think we might have to move back a little bit. And it's decided that at least for this stage of development, slope too steep. It has no desire whatsoever to work with us. And we may have to just kind of leave it, unless we'll try it with the bend. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference, but we can try it and see where it gets us. Nowhere at all. It looks like a writhing earthworm. And look at the twist that we've got on that highway. Look at that. It's having such a hard time figuring out how to do this. It's practically twisted over on itself. That's kind of interesting in a sad and obnoxious kind of way. What if we do it just a little bit farther back? No? A lot farther back? Still no? Back from here and up? No? How about from here and all the way down? No? Assholes. They're all assholes. That's okay though. So we've got this bypass here is good. We've got this guy running here. And just before we get too carried away, yeah, it's all coming down this way. So we will have this guy coming, of a one-way road coming off this way. Oh, that one decided to work. That was very thoughtful. And kind of, we're going to shoot it a little bit farther past, like that, just again to avoid that whole issue of intersections kind of doing crazy things that we don't necessarily want them to do. And then we can have another bypass that will go this way, and like we did over here, we can have another one that'll go underneath, so that everybody can get where they want to go without necessarily losing their minds in the process. And let's actually do that bypass right now. While we're here, we might as well. And also because we do have the dead ends, I kind of feel like now is a time people would appreciate for us to address that. And we'll turn snapping off so that we can kind of get this thing lined up. There we go. I'm happy with that. That's practically uniform. Alright, so we've kind of temporarily addressed the traffic in this area. We still have to have the off-ramp. Actually, I guess it would be the on-ramp. People would be coming up onto the highway and going that way. We still want to make sure that we don't forget that we will, but we're going to pretend that we aren't going to. And then we can come down here. Actually, we're going to de-zone this just for now. Because it's kind of ugly, and that's kind of ugly. And that, and that. Actually, I guess we didn't have to de-zone that, but we did anyways. And that should take care of all of the stragglers. We're good for industrial coverage, but we have a lot of abandoned industrial buildings, and I think that's because we have such high residential demand, and that's what we're going to start to take a look at right now, is what we can do to address that high residential demand. Now we want to make sure that we're continually giving access from the residential area to the main sort of central system here, so we're going to have some, we're going to have a two-way road. We'll make sure we'll do the two-way road, and it's going to come up like so-ish. And then we're going to bend it. And then we'll go like that, and then we'll bend it. And that's not a bad start. And then it can go like this. And try and keep everything kind of close together. And then we're going to change this, actually, to commercial. I like putting the little commercial things into those little sort of triangle things that we make with these junctions, just because I imagine little corner stores there, and then everyone can see it from all 3 degrees, and people are less likely to rob it because they can't hide behind fences and stuff. It's all exposed. Or at least that's what we tell the people that want to set up a commercial enterprise in one of those things. And then we need... Let's see here. Okay, we need to fix this already. What we could do, I think the easiest way, and again, just trying to picture it from the point of view, if I was the one driving, oops, we don't want that. If I was the one driving on this road, what would be the easiest way for me to get off of this one-way road onto this one that doesn't involve stopping? And then that way we can hopefully keep the traffic moving, and that's going... Yeah, that's working. That's doing it the right way that we want it to. And then we take this guy. And then again, we've already got this lane here that a person could drive along this way and then turn right onto the one way. But that's like... That's a pretty hard right. So that's why we take and we do... like the... sort of... There we go. It's gonna. This is gonna be the hill that all the parents teach their kids how to drive a standard transmission vehicle, because it's got the great big hill at the intersection. Although hopefully, if we've done our job right, they won't have to stop. So that's what we're trying to accomplish. And then here, I think what we can do is we'll do a two lane. Like that, and then we'll switch it to a one-way. I don't even know if this is going to be worth all the effort, but we're going to try. We're going to do our bestest to make it happen. Distance too short. Wow. Look at that. That is the traffic circle of traffic circles right there. So you kind of get on this way, and then you come around, and then you can come out this way, and then again we have to adjust, of course, because we're being really, really picky about things that probably don't matter all that much. That's one of the joys of a game like this, is that we're allowed to do that. And in this case, we could afford it. For the most part, we're actually pretty good for money, which is good because I think it won't be long before we have to start upgrading power and sewage and all these other things that just kind of creep up on you. I love when you want to do straight and it gives you the wonky one. That's all right. I mean, it's not perfect, but it makes better use of this space in here than if I were to just run a road past it and say done. So we're going to get a little bit of extra use out of that relative to what we would have gotten. And now we can look at oh, okay, one thing that I wanted to adjust, as in add to, is another excuse to bulldoze a brand new house. When we set this up the other day, I was trying to keep track in my head of all the different connections and junctions and things and where it was going and how it was getting there. And I completely forgot about doing the off-ramp from here up onto this and then over. So it's going to be a one-way because it is an off-ramp that we're using to avoid an intersection. And we're going to elevate it. And I'll try it curved, because I would like to see it a little bit more natural looking than what we got there. And then we'll it still ends up looking exactly the same. That'll do. That's kind of what we're looking for in the broad strokes kind of sense of things. And now we have all of this area down here that we can start expanding into for our residential, which we're apparently the demand just keeps growing and growing, which makes us very happy. There's a sucker born every minute, and all of them are moving to our town, and it's fantastic. Like that. And we'll do another one of these, because it seemed to make things a little bit easier when we did it sort of overpass style. And I just want to make sure that it's set up properly from the beginning to do what we want it to do. Which is to say, we want to get a road underneath here and connecting down there. So we'll do that. And a little bit too much. And then we'll do like that. And then we'll bring it down. Slope too steep. That's fantastic. And then we can do, yeah, we're still on that guy. And we are still on bendy, and we're ground level. And then we'll kind of bring it around. It's fairly reasonable, I think. And then we can do another on-ramp style. Clipping is off, but it's still forcing us into some very weird connections. And we'll take the one way and connect the one way from there to... Do we really need... We don't need it to go... Yeah, we do need it to go straight. Cooperate! Go where I tell you! Disobedient roads. I think the dreaded intersection is largely inevitable at this particular point. But we've been doing a pretty good job of avoiding it. This is where the X-Men hang out. Yeah, that was awful. That was I should be punished for that one. That was not okay. And now we just want to take a look at this guy and make sure that everything is set up to function exactly the way that we want it to. And I think it actually is. I think we're okay because we're just connecting junction to junction, like so. And maybe if we were to even go like... This could be another one of those disasters, but we're gonna try. So it is a two-way that we want, and we want it connecting and connecting. Connecting. Why don't you connect the way you're supposed to? Like that. I think that might even be better than having it kind of come down and then back up again. Then people coming off here can go this way. And if they're coming down this way, they can just kind of go around. And then if they want to come up back that way, they can. If it looks like we're having traffic issues here, we can always, you know, send a road in between and kind of do a little bit of a bypass that way. But I'm not sure that it'll be necessary. So we're going to kind of roll with it like that. And then the people coming up this way, these are the guys who are going to want to go up that way. So maybe we should have left it. What can you do? There. There, now everyone should be happy, and we'll have the same thing. Yeah, we'll have the same thing going like this. It is. It's like a worm. It's like it's like a worm having a seizure. Space already occupied, out of city limits. Fine. We'll bring it down like so. And then we'll do a little bit of a bend. And down like so. And then the one way. Starting here. And kind of, no, not like that. Try straight. That's very strange, but I think it'll work. This actually is a little bit too far with the elevated portion. We can bring that down and bend and down. Actually, just do from here and down, and then we can go like so. Bring it around like that. Any reasonable use out of the land, being able to pack in a reasonable number of houses relative to what the game would allow under any circumstances. And then we can go, oh, it's already on bendy. Like so. And lastly, the one way. Yeah, we got an intersection there. But again, it could be a lot worse. And now we can just double check. Water. We have almost perfect water coverage. But we could stand to bring it out like so. And then everything there will be covered. And we might as well, while we're here, bring that out. Bring that out. And I already know what's going to happen in time is that I'm going to end up redoing all of the water pipes so that they're this straight, barely overlapping kind of setup so that we end up paying less maintenance on them. Because all of this here is a little bit wasteful, even though when our city gets larger, the amount that it'll cost us to maintain it is going to be, I think, relatively unimportant. So our sewage treatment is okay for now, but we're going to be needing to upgrade it very soon. Our water consumption is also okay, but also going to be needing to upgrade it soon. We're almost to the point now where we can start drawing our water from this river over here, which will be absolutely clean water, so we can use the pumping stations instead of the water towers. And then we'll have all of the dirty water down here that's courtesy of that in the industrial area that's going to be spreading over there. So, oops. Resume. And we want to close that. And that should be good for all of that for now. Now, let's just, while we're here, let's check the fire and the police coverage. Look at that. That's beautiful. Crime rate of 4%. It's not bad at all. While we're here, we might as well. We definitely have the money and we have the income, and we know we're going to need it eventually anyways. So not looking after it just seems like kind of a silly thing to do. We'll do that. Look at all the people with all the happiness. And we'll do this. And then while we're here, you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to put a clinic down here. Actually, let's do the clinic up here. Or over here. How's that? Did that work? I'm just watching this gray area. That's all the roads are kind of... Different parts of the roads are turning gray based on what's going on here. What we're trying to do. What if we go like that? I think that's going to be the kind of coverage we're looking for. Very, very happy people. Still pulling down a very reasonable amount of tax income. We need... oh, there we go. We got the warning. We're out of power, sir. Please allocate more power. I'm going to put school in there. And then we're going to come down here. We're going to start putting in a couple of these guys. Who... space already occupied. There we go. You know what, while we're here, might as well, because we know we're going to use it. Yeah, yeah, we know there's an abandoned building. We're clear on that. We know. So we got schools, we got fire, we've got police, we've got healthcare. We've got residential zoning. All of the demand is down nice and low. It took a big chunk out of our income. We were getting close to $5,000 per week, and now we're just coming back up towards $3,000. And adding all of those guys in costs us tens of thousands of dollars, but necessary. I don't think we were going to get much farther if we didn't properly zone all that other stuff. And just very quickly want to take a look at the traffic, because we seem to be doing really well for traffic under the circumstances. Yeah, it's still the same sort of trouble spots, but even the trouble spots aren't bad. They're high traffic, but not terrible traffic. So, I mean, for a town this size, we're in good shape. So the next episode, we're going to need a little more residential. We're going to zone some of the commercial. We don't need to build specifically for it. We just need to zone it. And then we're going to look at doing some zones. And we're going to look at setting up resource-specific zones and changing up the way we're handling our industry. So I'm still having a ton of fun. Realistically speaking, I haven't been playing the game nearly long enough to be close to bored with it. So there's that. But there's so much to do, and it's one of those things. If you like it, you like it, and if you don't, you don't. And I happen to like it. So we'll leave it there. And if you want to be notified when I add future videos, you can always subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on social media for updates. Social media links are always in the information section below the video. Please leave your comments and feedback. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.